your two-dad show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Inspire with us, tomorrow's news today. It's more, yeah.
News like the devastating testimony from Stormy Daniels. It didn't ruin Trump. It ruined Stormy Daniels. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm JJ. That's Dave. Deacon's power is out, but he'll be in just a second. We got some storms happening in Kentucky, so he'll be here in just a moment. I'm JJ. That's Dave. And we meet at rumble.com/JJ to drink coffee, talk about the news, and just start the day with like a deep breath, peace, and then we read the news and we go through moments of rage, and then we have some chuckles. It's great. It's the right way to start.
Would you like to hear something? Would you like to hear something funny to start the day? Not a joke, but funny.
Yeah.
So misheard lyrics. Misheard lyrics are a big deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
I never know the words to song. I like to listen to, and I can formulate. Okay, this song's in the key of G. This king, yeah, and I'll just go through and figure out all the musical stuff on the song. You say subscribe quick in the lyrics to your song.
Yeah.
I have always heard subscribe click.
Oh, really?
and in my head, that made sense.
Listen, if you go to soundcloud.com/thesuckers, you can get all of our songs. I say our, but I made them and
they're yours. They're yours.
And all the lyrics are on there, and the lyrics are great, especially Jimbo. Jimbo is my favorite song that I've made.
I am pretty certain I've read all the lyrics, but that still doesn't compute to me hearing it.
Didn't stick. All right, so we got a lot of bits and bots of news today. We got some, believe it or not, Donald Trump was in the news, even though he's not allowed to campaign. He somehow was still able to be in the news. We'll start out. We'll save the Stormy one until maybe when Deke gets back here. But I saw this morning. This is very interesting. You know, there are 4 cases against Donald Trump right now. 4. Let's see. There is the. There's 4 major cases. You have Jack Smith in Washington, D.C., trying to convict him for having classified documents that Donald Trump unclassified, and also the National Archives, the GSA made Trump take. They sent him a pallet of these things, and then they were like, "Hey, there's classified stuff in there." So it was like a whole frame-up job. Anyway, Jack Smith's case, you got that one. You got Fani Willis. Fani Willis is in Georgia and trying to convict him for election interference. And then you have the E. Jean Carroll case, which is the one where E. Jean Carroll claimed that he sexually assaulted her 30 years ago or something like that. And has no evidence and no witnesses, and there was no conviction. The judge just summarily ruled that he was guilty, I think, and then it was about a payout. And then there's the New York case where the hush money case, the Stormy Daniels. Okay, so there's 4 cases. One of those cases is being presided over by Judge Eileen Cannon, and she has indefinitely postponed the trial that was supposed to begin May 20th. The delay.
Why'd she do that?
That's a good question. Don't know. Do not know. Let's dig in here. Maybe you know. Let's go with Newsbusters. They sound super credible. Let's see. No, I'm going to retract the super credible part there. That did not sound super credible. Al Jazeera. Why not? Al Jazeera says, what the heck? Why is this storm? Man, I'm sorry. Well, Al Jazeera says the judge says setting the new date would be imprudent and casting doubts on whether the trial would start before the U.S. election. So apparently, whatever they've done there is so bad that she's like, "Timeout, prosecutors. You need to get your stuff straight." The delay brings the trial closer to the anyway. Okay, so big trial postponed. I think that's the Jack Smith case. To be honest, I think that's the documents case. So that one's on hold. Where's Deke? Deke.
I don't know, but I did see that there was some.
Off and on, went out again. Now it's completely out. Oh no! Here we got a message from Deacon here. Let's see if we can.
Okay.
I'll bring this up over here. Message link. Please be patient. Oh man. Okay. Here is. Here we go. Message from Deacon.
Yeah, that's coming my way. Oh, that's bad.
This is what's coming through right now.
Oh,
Power's
Lord.
completely off. It's blown that thing off over there, you can see.
Oh, wow. Some of the roof is torn off. Yeah, it's all dark in there. Wow.
Yeah, that's on its way to
Hey,
us.
it looks like Deke may be coming back here. Hold on. Deke, we just watched your video
It'll
message.
be the phone.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I have can you hear me?
Yeah, we
great.
can hear you.
Okay, there's going to be a delay with my phone, but I do have a battery backup. You hear it? And my
Yeah,
board and
sounds like the
everything's still
batteries are
on. So I've got a couple of things plugged in. The most important things plugged into the battery backup. So technically we're still on the air. I just can't tell if we're on the air unless I go out to my car, and I'm not going out to my car.
How long does your battery system last?
4 or 6 hours. I don't remember.
Can
4
I-
hours.
That's
Can
pretty
I
good.
log in to the stream and tell you if it's on the air or not?
No.
Like online?
Yeah,
I'd
it's
actually have
not.
to be down there.
Deke Dogood says that he can't see in your video message. He couldn't see the part of the roof that came down. And he's gonna need you to go out and get a better shot.
Do good
Not
can
good.
kiss the hairiest part of my butt.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's go with okay, so we got a tweet here from Simon Atiba. Where's the share? Share. Here we go. Breaking, shocking, your reaction. Judge Juan Mercan claimed Trump might have violated his gag order by shaking his head inside of the courtroom while Stormy Daniels was testifying. The judge claimed that by shaking his head and reportedly audibly cursing. Let me get that barcode off your face there, sir. Okay. So Stormy Daniels is running her mouth saying whatever she's saying. And Donald Trump is like, this dumb. He audibly cursing. Trump might have intimidated the witness. This was said privately to Trump's lawyer and was not captured loudly during the testimony.
Intimidated the witness? Really?
Yeah. That's what Juan Mercan's saying. Juan Mercan is just dying to put Trump in jail. He just wants to do it so bad. The court says, I understand that your client is upset at this point, but he is cursing audibly and he is shaking his head visibly, and that's contemptuous. It is the potential to intimidate the witness, and the jury can see that. I will talk to him. So I'm speaking here at the bench because I don't want to embarrass him. Juan Mercan doesn't want to embarrass him. He only wants to throw Trump in jail. Okay. All right. Do Good says that's the best Kentucky weather you can get right there. I think he's jerking your chain, sir.
It's actually supposed to be pretty nasty. You know, I think there's supposed to be some baseball-sized hail come through.
They'll say this this afternoon.
That sounds terrible. That stuff messed up your car, dude. Let's see. In a related story, do we have any more Stormy Daniels direct stuff? Okay, so I listened to
I posted the two. I posted the two pictures down there of the two documents that Stormy Daniels released earlier, like years ago. There's two different ones. One in 17 and one in something else where she basically, I posted them for you to show on the show if you want to. She signed them and she says there's no wrongdoing, no wrongdoing. Did you see in the testimony where she basically said something like, I wish I could find this, but she basically said something like, since he was running for president, she had to change her strategy or something like that.
Yeah, she's trying to get more money.
That's not word for word, but yeah, she was like, since he was now running for president, the stakes were changed.
Yeah.
I was like, did you not incriminate yourself right there by saying that?
To whom it may concern, over the past few weeks, I've been asked, this is from January 2018, I have been asked countless times to comment on the reports of alleged sexual relationship I had with Donald Trump many, many, many years ago. The fact of the matter is that each party to this alleged affair denied its existence in 2006, 2011, 2016, and 2017, and now again in 2018. I am not denying the affair because I was paid hush money, as has been reported overseas in overseas-owned tabloids. I am denying this affair because it never happened. I will have no further comment on this matter. Please feel free to check me out on Instagram at the Stormy Daniels. So she said that in 2018, and then in 2018. Wow, this one's harder to read. I recently became aware that certain, this is earlier in the month, so it's basically the same thing. Stories are not true. So Stormy Daniels has on multiple occasions testified that she did not have a sexual relationship with Donald Trump. And even if she did, that's not illegal. And there's so far nobody presented any evidence that either Donald Trump personally signed off on paying her money, or that as Bragg is alleging, you remember this entire crime is only a crime because the hush money payment is in furtherance of some other mystery crime that has not been outlined. So basically there's no evidence. And yesterday they had yesterday was Stormy Daniels. The day before yesterday, the prosecutors brought in an accountant from the Trump organization that handled this stuff, and they said, did anybody else handle these? Who put this into the system? Who coded it wrong? Who broke the law? And the guy was like, I coded it wrong. I coded it like that. That was legal expense. So we coded it as legal expense. And then they were like, but did Donald Trump personally sign it off? And he looked at it. He was like, oh, these checks are co-signed. They're signed for two people. One of them is so-and-so. And the prosecutor said, and this other one, it says Don. Is that Donald Trump? And he looked at it, he was like, no, that's Don Jr. Don Jr. is able to do payment signatures. So the prosecution has no evidence that their allegation even took place. The crime doesn't exist. This case is insane. It's ridiculous. You guys, if you're not following this, this case would be so awesome if it were televised like Johnny Depp was. Like, this would be the #1 show, I'm telling you. But they would not. They won't let cameras in the courtroom.
Better than the Gwyneth Paltrow case that me and JJ loved. Like, we were rooting for Gwyneth.
Well, that's not going to stop Democrats from getting their hopes up and their fever dreams going wild. Check this out. Mayor Eric Adams is saying that Rikers will be ready for Donald Trump. Rikers. They're like, get Juan Merchan to just convict that dude and let's put him in jail.
Okay, let's just go ahead and say that Trump is guilty in this hush money thing. Just go ahead and say that. What?
All right.
sentence for paying hush money? Because I'm not like right.
I don't know. Apparently, paying people is not a crime. Paying people to not talk is not a crime. So it's not a crime.
I'm not saying the dude's clean, but like we're like jumping straight to.
Yeah,
some of
no,
the
we're gonna like
bigger-
incarceration. Let's talk about how we're gonna handle this incarceration.
Mhm.
Here is let's go a Breitbart. We'll do Breitbart. Their site isn't full of ads. Democrat mayor of New York City announces Rikers Island preparing to imprison Donald Trump. And can you hear this? Can you just imagine the dripping saliva as the Democrats around the world are just like, please put him in jail. We can't win with Joe Biden in a fair fight. Adams' comments came after the New York Supreme Court Justice Juan Merchan, the judge presiding over Trump's business records deal, threatened to jail the former president after finding him in contempt for violating a gag order for the 10th time. Okay, first of all, these gag orders where you're just the court is able to just say you're not allowed to talk about this stuff when it's obviously political. Isn't that unconstitutional? Why is that not being like challenged all the way to the court? You know,
Well, the only one who's really allowed to talk right now is whoever is running against Donald Trump, correct?
Yeah, right. No, he can go anywhere, do anything.
Okay,
He can.
that's
He
all.
can.
That's just what I.
He can. You know what? I have a little bit of a story about Joe Biden. Let's see if we'll finish up this court stuff. Did I have any other court stuff? Let's see. Let's talk about the guy that's actually running this thing, because Joe Biden has. I think there's a dude. What's his name? There's a Democrat operative that is literally involved in all of these cases, or maybe 3 of the cases. He's not involved in the Fani Willis case, but the other 3 cases, the hush money case, the federal records case, or whatever. There's one Democrat operative that's literally involved in all 3 of these, which is leading a lot of people to say, hey, the Biden administration is literally conspiring to imprison their political rival. Okay, well, maybe that's true, maybe it's not, I don't know. But it's something that is true, is that the United States has completed building the humanitarian pier off the Gaza coast. So you know that we are building like this floating platform, and then we're going to like put, I don't know, weapons and money and food and all kinds of stuff on it, and then sail it into Gaza. And it's supposed to be humanitarian relief for the Palestinians, but they don't run that country anyway. They don't run that territory anyway. As Israel was preparing to invade Rafah, because basically Israel's entire stance is like, we're not going to allow Hamas to exist anymore. So as long as there's still Hamas and they've got our they've got our hostages, like, we're just steamrolling and we're taking out Hamas. And the Biden administration has been vocally saying, you can't go into Rafah. That's not right. Too many civilian casualties, protesting. Because the Democrats in the United States, they don't care about Israel. And the far left wing of the Democrats are activated by the Palestinian advocates, right? The far left there. So Joe Biden and the Biden administration and Hamas worked up a secret ceasefire agreement and didn't tell Israel about it while they were negotiating it. And then Hamas said, we'll agree to the ceasefire. And Israel is like, what are you guys talking about? It has nothing to do with us. Did you see this? Let me pull it up. The ground news. Hamas ceasefire. The U.S. was optimistic that the revised Hamas proposal may break the ceasefire impasse. That was reported on the 7th. And let me see. Maybe it's over here. Oh, I saw this morning. I should have grabbed it. In addition, okay, so the Biden administration was kind of creating this secret ceasefire agreement with Hamas and basically trying to pressure Israel into accepting the deal. And at the same time, in order to try to leverage Israel into listening, you may have heard that the Biden administration paused weapons deliveries to Israel. We held up a shipment. So basically to get Israel's attention and say, hey, you guys got to do this ceasefire thing. But if that didn't stop Israel. Israel went into Rafah, and they now control the border crossing. They now control the border crossing in Rafah. So Joe Biden out there, does that make sense at all? There's two parties in a conflict, Israel and Hamas, right? And then you have the United States. And the United States talks to one of them and is like, hey, let's get you guys to do a ceasefire and maybe stop doing all the bad stuff. And they don't involve the other party, which happens to be our ally.
Yeah, not smart.
It's the craziest stuff.
Yeah,
not good.
We can't assume to speak on Israel's behalf without including Israel in the conversation. And even then we can't assume.
Right. So who are we serving there? What are we doing? What's the outcome? Or like, do you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense for us to go out of our way to do something on behalf of an ally and partner. But Hamas is a terrorist organization.
So we're providing weapons and funds for both sides right now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, whatever aid that we are supposedly delivering to the Palestinian people, it's immediately confiscated by Hamas and repurposed for military, for their military use. It was even true for like water pipes. We would have like the unit, I think it was the United Nations would have like humanitarian relief go in and deliver like pipes so that water pipes could be put down so that people could have water to their buildings. Hamas took the piping, chopped it up, welded it, and turned it into mortar cannons. So I think Deke's having a bad morning there.
He is.
Yeah, not good. Okay.
I think
some of these.
Maybe when there's a war going on, everything tends to, or at least there's a speculation that all the gears will be turning, that, manufacturing will be up, that gas will be in a good place, transportation's good. All these things are supposed to be hitting when wars are going on. So if we are supporting our allies and we're supporting the individuals who are being hurt by the enemies of our allies, we're in a war without officially being in a war right now, trying to bolster the economy. Every president wants, well, not every president, but the vast majority of presidents want to be wartime presidents so they can look shiny, so that they can boost the economy. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to me that since I've been alive, we've only had one president that did not get us in any wars. They got us close with things that were said, but no wars.
Yeah. And it's not like it's one party that's doing it or the other. Both of the they're all doing it.
Yeah. I'm talking like throughout my entire life, and we've had right and left.
You have, absolutely. Both sides of the party. The Uni Party is absolutely pro-war. Mm-hmm. Because they make money off of it. They send money over there. That money gets used to buy stuff from companies in their constituencies, and they get kickbacks. That's laundering.
Probably.
It's
definitely laundering, but that's
laundering
probably
money.
how it
Yeah.
It's possible that's how it happens.
All right, so Deke put this thermonuclear tweet up in our notes, and I guess I'm going to have to talk about it. According to Real Robert, that is Real Robert on X, and not according to me, the Georgia Election Board confirming Fulton County falsified audit tally sheets counted duplicate ballots including Fannie Bang Bang Willis and Raffensperger, redacted the evidence to corrupt the racket. Here's Raffensperger's general counsel sugarcoating the crimes. The results are determined by paper ballots, which we have. We just won't let you see them. Not sure if 4,000 duplicated ballots were counted in 2020. That really means yes. Okay, so here's a little
what we're
video
looking
clip.
at, Heather and Steve, are tally. So what we're looking at, Heather and Steve, are tally sheets that were the auditors for the Georgia audit that was conducted on November and 14th and 15th in Fulton County. They filled these out as they counted the ballots. And typically you would see 37 to 43, 60 to 1 to 48, something like that. But here we have tally sheets that are 100 to nothing for ballots. So somebody filled this out. But it's not just one of these. We have 7 of these, and we're going to kind of scroll through and show you these live. There's another one, 100 to nothing. The actual counts of these are like 5942 in terms of ballot images. Here's one that's 150 to nothing.
Yeah, so basically the people that were doing the audit would count the batches and then write in fraudulent numbers because they have the corresponding images for these batches and they do not match these sheets. So whoever was doing them commit fraud. And what I had asked him in the press conference is, are these sheets signed by the person that doing them? And apparently they are, Steve. And not only that, the Secretary of State has the information. These sheets that they got, it's redacted. So they can't determine who was doing this, but we know that whoever did commit.
I will
What
say
is this
that
video
if these
from?
are, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but they're
This
saying
looks-
that it says Real America's Voice, which is a news outlet.
Okay, I'm just going to say that this looks sketchy, like the video quality, and I can't read the lips with the words.
Yeah.
Because it's dark, and so that just looks sketchy. This may be legit information.
Right.
Why is it
And-
like 720?
I will
Or,
say,
I'm sorry, 360.
I will say, why is it in a low resolution? Probably because it's on Twitter. I don't know how you can't make it look any better on Twitter.
No.
Okay, and then
contest in 2020. So you will hear a great deal during this presentation about documents such as
Only a minute
ballot
long.
images, batches loaded reports, and tabulator tapes. And all of those documentation, they're all very important. And we expect that the counties will keep those, maintain those, and make sure that they are complete. But it's important to note that they play no role in the actual tabulation of results in an election. Again, those results are determined by the paper ballots, which we have for 2020.
what are the tally sheets for if they're not used to tally up the ballots? And the way that I understand that this stuff works is that you have a box. Imagine you have a box, like a long box you put comics in, but it's a box of ballots, right? And it holds 200 ballots. And you got crates and crates and crates of these things. Well, you're not every single time going to go through and count every single ballot. Oh, we got to recount and count every single ballot. No, what they do is they count the box and they say the box had 100 for Trump and 150 for Joe Biden. And they write that on a tally sheet and they stick that thing on the front and somebody signs it and like, this is the official count of this box. And then when they do a recount, they go through and they count the tally sheets and they add them up again and make sure that's what they do. So, so the allegation that, somebody's just fraudulently changing the tally sheets. Well, look, I mean, that's reasonable that somebody could do that. You know, you have to assume that there's bad actors that are willing to just do stuff wrong. I'm gonna mute Deke. I'm sorry, Deke. I'm gonna mute Deke's BB button. Maybe he'll come back around. I don't know. I thought I muted Deke. What is beeping? Is that you?
Not me. It's Deke.
He's literally muted right now. Why can I still hear it?
He has the power.
That's weird. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do this. You can come back later. Anyway, all right. Well, now the fact that the stuff is redacted, I'm not surprised by that because these are people that volunteered it. If assume everything's legitimate, then you got volunteer people or whoever of delegates, officials with their signatures and their names. You don't want to blast that out into public with unless they have real cause. So I can understand it being redacted. It's not unreasonable. How come I can't close this? Yeah, Deke, look, I think the election is rigged, and I think that people cheated. I don't know how they cheated, but it doesn't have to be high tech and sophisticated. You could just
I think there are definitely
change rules and stuff.
Attempts at rigging every election, whether or not they go through or not. I mean, we'd be foolish to say that, it's always free and clear. I think there are definitely attempts to go down for cheating, and I think it happens.
What we don't have is. Oh, okay. It's Deke's back. We don't have any way to audit anything. You're good. Except for you have no power.
Yeah, and my battery's going down. I don't guess it's a 4-hour battery. It's like a 30-minute backup power.
Oh, no.
Thanks.
That's going to be bad, right? That's going to be real bad.
Yeah, because radio is what people turn to. They can run out to the car, turn
the
car on if they lose.
There's I was outside and the neighbor came by and I was sitting there talking to him. There's a lot of limbs down, and I've heard some emergency vehicles, and while we were standing out there a second ago, we could hear chainsaws up the road. So I'm sure some limbs came down and hit some stuff. Hang on, I gotta close this freaking door. This is maddening.
Yeah. This UPC those UPC warning lights. I think there's a button on the front you can push to mute it, but if you're not careful, you'll turn the whole thing off, and that would be bad. Depends on the model you have. All right, so let's talk about something fun. Let's talk about entertainment. Dave.
Yeah.
Do you like the theater?
I try to go every now and then.
Deacon has been in at least 2 plays since we started this show. So Deacon has been, a thespian professionally.
My wife is going to be involved in Shakespeare in the Park this summer in Louisville. I'm pretty excited.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
She's doing sign language. So
theater, art, it tells people a message and a story together, and it brings us together in a way that we are normally divided by politics or however we have to manage resources and stuff.
If he pulls out a lighter right now, he looks like he's like crawling through. It's oh goodness, I can't think of the name of the movie. Die Hard.
Elise says falsification of business records is a crime. Dapper Don cheated. He's guilty. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, but the accountant, the accountant testified yesterday that he coded them exactly as they're supposed to be encoded. He testified on that 2 days ago. But all right. And you're correct that falsification of financial records is a crime in New York. It's a misdemeanor. But he's being charged with a felony because he's they don't have an explanation for that. They can't actually tell you what the actual felony crime is. Get it? But thanks for hanging out, Elise. Appreciate your input. Okay. All right. Back to entertainment. Let's talk entertainment, Dave.
Yep.
I didn't even know this was happening. I bet you're going to be as excited as me. According to, apparently, having moved out of politics, I don't know, out of politics, but out of politics as her maybe we'll call this as her third career. Hillary Rodham Clinton has a play, a Broadway musical play called Suffs. It is about the suffrage movement. It's about the suffragette. Hillary Clinton's feminist Broadway musical Suffs is struggling at the box office despite receiving a bunch of Tony Award nominations and an outpouring of adulatory coverage that adulatory, how do you say adulatory? That just means like praise, right? From mainstream media.
So
apparently
adulatory?
Adulatory.
I think it's misspelled.
I don't know. David, Mr. Ning, can you get a thesaurus and use a different word? How about positive? You could just say positive coverage. The Suffs.
I've said this numerous times. It is all about the adjectives. Look at the adjectives that are used, and that tells you where things are.
Yeah. The Suffs is a 3-hour-long musical about the rise of the suffragette movement.
Good.
Hold on, we're not done. Featuring a cast comprised entirely of women and gender non-binary performers. No men. Played at 81% capacity last week and dipped down to a 78% capacity before, according to the Broadway League. Those figures indicate trouble for a new show, which should be getting like, it should be packed house, right? It should be a packed house. I can't think of anything I would want to do less than sit in a 3-hour-long musical about the suffragette movement.
I would watch it. I don't know about this cast though. I think it'd be fascinating, good. Like it's like Hamilton, right? Hamilton was they redesigned the cast and everything from what your historical representations would be, and I was okay with it. It was good. There's going to be a lot going on here on whether or not I would watch it, but man, some of these individuals, I don't know. Well, I only know of one person that's in it, and I'm not really excited to go see them in a 3-hour musical.
The problem with this, just like Hamilton and just like any freaking movie that you watch that's about history, all right? Lincoln, all those freaking movies, they are all lies. It's all to make you freaking more entertained. They embellish the story. They leave out parts of the story. I mean, Braveheart, for Christ's sakes. People watch that movie and think they know everything about William Wallace, and he didn't do none of that crap. You know, and that's what scares me about stuff like this is that our society is so freaking dumb anyway that they're going to start. We're living out idiocracy. These movies are going to become what people in 80 years say history really was. And it's stuff like this that's billed as, you know, we're doing this and it's billed as something good. But if you look at it from not your 100-year standpoint and look at it from like a 500-year standpoint, this is really bad.
That I agree with 100%.
Well, okay. So, I mean, it's not going to be that bad because apparently audiences are not eating it up.
Can we change the screen?
You don't want to stare. Hold on.
I looked at the
There you go.
Slightly better. Why are we watching Star Wars now?
You can stand looking at her teeth.
It's Star Wars now.
Oh my God. Feel it.
Let the hate flow through you.
Broadway is supposed to,
I need to be nice.
At the minimum, it's supposed to entertain you, right? And something like this that's about like a historical movement, at the maximum, it should also educate you. But this looks to be something that is neither entertaining nor educational. There were no non-binary that didn't exist.
I think
wasn't a thing.
Several of the original feminists, like the ones that really made movements, I don't know how they would feel about that. I know that there are feminists today that have very strong opinions against that. I mean,
you have multiple waves of feminism. You have first wave feminism, second wave, third wave feminism. It's been hijacked. Okay. I think this is like, I don't remember if this is second wave feminism that resulted in the suffrage movement, maybe first wave feminism. Whatever laudable ideals that they had that, led them to, the 19th Amendment and allowing women the right to vote and whatever laudable ideals those were hijacked for sure by academic feminists and third wave feminism later, in the 70s and 60s and 70s for sure. So this is Hillary Clinton, a for sure third wave feminist, hijacking the credibility and nobility, maybe higher purpose of first wave feminism in order to prop herself up as a historical figure in some way. This sounds terrible. I don't know. I think I would rather participate in a live action like what was that musical where they did the street fights, I think I would rather
West Side Story.
I think I would rather do a live action West Side Story, like
which is just a remake of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
And
I'm not interested in that either.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, her plays oh my God, we have a clip. Sorry guys.
Nope,
We're gonna watch this
Why?
clip.
Why? I don't see anything, thank God.
This is terrible. This looks like a high school production. This is Broadway. Look close. This is Broadway. All right.
There's a lot of places in Broadway.
Whatever. I'm pretty sure Elise is definitely gone now. Bye, Elise.
I'm glad you were here, Elise.
I'm glad you were here.
Don't run off our audience.
Deke, you dropped a story about Tom Cruise in the show notes, and I know how much you love Tom Cruise.
I just wanted to point out that I just want to read the story, and basically he's filming a movie, and there was a crap load of pigeons that were interrupting stuff, so they hired professional hawks to come and get rid of the pigeons. But I wanted to point out something.
Okay.
Hang on, I've got a freaking guest coming in, and we don't even have freaking show.
Yeah.
Hang on.
It's Wednesday. It's
No
Wednesday.
show, power's out. Okay. Okay, basically what I was wanting to say here real quick. I know this has been the shit show of a day for me.
Yeah, buddy.
Basically what I wanted to say was that, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
What I wanted to say was that he's hired these hawks to kill all these pigeons because pigeons are a nuisance in these cities and stuff. But what we don't realize is, what we're not realizing is that we did this to ourselves with pigeons. We cared for and gave them homes and used them and gave them jobs for years and years and years. Pigeons were bred and kept and used, and it's been bred into them. And now we don't need them anymore. So pigeons don't know how to go out and scavenge on their own because humans have fed and taken care of them for 1,000 freaking plus years. So now we consider them like a nuisance when we created the nuisance.
This is a parable.
Am I sounding a little far-fetched?
No, this is a parable of society. You're going to have people who we don't need anymore. Job, we hired them, we worked, use them. Now we don't need them anymore. We're just going to bring in people.
Well, I just forgot until the last second I looked at the time. I was like, oh, man, I need to tell Gail the power's complete. We've been out for an hour.
I have to drop him out.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But you see what I'm saying? It's a parable for society if we're not careful. The big robots will come in and kill us because people have forgotten how to stand
absolutely.
Or
that's all I was wanting to say. I mean, if you look at
the Tom Cruise is murdering pigeons on a Hollywood budget.
Yeah.
There you go.
My George Lucas thing that I posted in the news drop the other day.
No, but that's no.
Yeah. So since we're talking about news or movies and stuff. Let me see if I can pull it up here. It's just 2 or 3 back. There we go. So there are lots
Oh,
of
I see it.
fans.
Yeah,
Who,
here it is. I got you.
you got it. Thanks. So there are lots
Yep,
of fans
yep.
who want to see the original 77 release, theatrical release, just cleaned up and put out for public view. Add it to a second disc, or add a second disc to the videos. And Lucas refuses. He has reportedly said, and I quote, "Grow up. These are my movies, not yours."
No, sir. No, sir.
yeah.
Those movies do not belong to you, George Lucas. No,
You
sir.
created them.
You
but
sold that. You got a payday. Those belong to Disney. And now, if we're going to be like, hey, Disney, give us the original movies, you know what Disney's going to do? They're going to say, if you'll buy something, please, because our business is so bad.
No, you're taking this completely out of context. In my point of view, that's his story, not my story, not your story, not no matter what you would change or what you would do different or what, that's his story. And he wanted to tell the story a certain way, but he couldn't due to all kinds of bull crap. Did you know those are the most successful independent films of all time because they wanted him part of the Motion Picture Association of America? They're supposed to put the credits on the screen. He didn't want to do that. It was his story. And when technology advanced with the help of his creations and his people, he was like, okay, I want to change this and do what I originally wanted now. And as a storyteller, I completely see where he's coming from. As much as the fans want to love it and change it and do something different, and now that Disney owns it and they're absolutely raping it, that's cool that you want to keep the original, but don't make a big freaking deal about it. I've got a copy of the original. I can watch it at any time, and my buddy has edited the very end with there is a fan-made duel between old Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. And it's freaking fantastic, this duel, instead of that one stupid one that we have in the film. And he edited that in this old version that I can watch anytime. I love it. I love it. But I'm not going to sit here and demand that George Lucas freaking add it to the freaking film. I'm going to enjoy it and shut my mouth. And I can see where George is like, dude, this is my story. Shut up. You want to tell your story, but this is mine.
Okay.
That's just the way I see it.
His story is only successful because the fans bought it. And without the fans, this doesn't exist at all.
And I don't think he's blanket statement to all the fans, but you know as well as I do, the Star Wars fanboys are some of the most annoying people on the freaking planet.
Some of the actors too. Now, one thing that that this article said was that the National Film Registry wanted to preserve the 1977 cut, and so they requested a copy from Lucas, and he refused to give it to them. He's like, that's not what he wants preserved. But again, that's the one that hit. That's the one that made him.
As a Deacon, forget about creator impulses of whatever he wants to do. As a matter of cinema history, the 1977 cut is the one that launched it. And whatever this archive is, that they want to archive that version. They can also archive other versions. National Film Registry.
If you're asking me a question, I can't understand you. It's my connection so bad.
So, should the National Film Registry be able to archive the 77
I can't
cut?
understand anything y'all are saying.
You can't understand. It's fine. It's fine. Well, listen, George Lucas sold his creation for $4 billion. So I don't care what George Lucas wants. I also don't care what Disney wants. So your buddy can edit in whatever he wants into his cut. I'm fine with that too.
At the end of the day, this is still
Disney
a
gets to
consumer
make
market.
the decision.
This is still a consumer market, right? Give the fans what they want. That's why they put John Krasinski as Reed Richards in the last movie. What movie was that?
Disney is highly inclined to perhaps listen to what fans want. Disney shares plunged by 10% as Bob Iger warns about product profitability and decreasing Marvel output. So basically, Disney's financial woes have been pretty bad for the last year or two. And then on top of that, they added a big, push for gender diversity, blah, all of that stuff into children's entertainment. And as a result, their numbers are not good. And they've lost 10% of their shares in just the last couple of days. And part of his plan to deal with that is to reduce the expenses of Disney productions. And part of that is going to be to reduce the number of Marvel films per year
There's
to
only
a
one this
maximum
year.
of to a maximum. Yeah, but some years they do like, many and multiple series. So this is going to be the excuse that they have to say that we will do no more than 3 Marvel films per year max, and no more than 2 film series per year max, which is going to give them a great escape valve to not take credit for things like abysmal Marvel. The Marvels was a bomb, right?
The problem they're going to run into
Ant-Man.
the
Ant-Man
problem they're going to run
Quantumania
into
was a bomb.
It was.
Yeah.
They're going to run into a problem of like they take a series like Moon Knight, which did really, really well. You saw Moon Knight, right?
I saw Moon Knight. It was it was okay. I wanted more.
It did really well. Okay, you wanted more. Cool. You know how long it's going to take to get more, because we're going to drag out the production times now, or drag out the release schedules now. You want more of take a series like what else was good? WandaVision was great. You know how long it's going to be?
WandaVision started great and did not end great.
I loved it. But
it's the high pace that they have had has reduced the quality of the output. I think everybody can agree to that. The entire Phase 4 was trash. Right?
I don't know if it's the high pace that's
collectively
reduced it, or if it's agenda stuff that's reduced it, because you have these stories. You have these stories that are there from the comic books. Adapt them to movies. It's going to take a while to create a movie. I get that, but your stories are there.
We have done stories in the past that over the past 2 or 3 years or whatever, Disney has squeezed the visual effects departments. They've spent less money and demanded more. So they have a high volume. You get the She-Hulk TV show. That show looked terrible. That She-Hulk did not look good. The Hulk on that.
God damn.
Are you talking to the beep or me?
The fucking beep. Can you hear me?
Can now.
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm sorry. It's not even registering that I'm showing up on the page. This freaking beep is about to drive me nuts.
There is a mute, dude. You can mute it.
On the
No, I can't. I've looked. That one don't have one.
Well, it has one button, right?
Okay. Let's not. I can barely understand y'all. So, y'all can hear me and see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I can barely understand you, both of y'all. I've just got a bad connection. It's just bad right here. I guess everybody's on their freaking internet. Bros. I don't know.
You're still there.
We're good. You're good. You're here. You're streaming.
All right. Throw up music real quick. I put that song in from Blessed Union of Souls that you didn't listen to yesterday. The 2 songs today that I think y'all will both remember is Soul for Real, Candy Rain, and I forgot what the other one is, and my crap's not working. Real McCoy, Runaway. Yeah. And we're doing songs from this week. Do what?
Yeah. It's good music. All
Candy
good
Rain
music.
and
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you said. I don't know. But that's the songs.
All right. Let's end this miserable suffrage.
Suffrage? Did you say
jokes.
suffrage?
Oh no, I did. Deke was like, "F this. I'm done. This is gonna go down in the books as a definitely a show." I mean, this is what happens when you have no electricity. Can't really do a show.
Yeah.
Hey, why was the nose feeling sad?
I don't know why.
I was tired of getting picked on. All right, what do you got?
So you do know the difference between a graveyard and a cemetery, right? This is not the joke part. This is just a setup.
No, I don't. What's the difference
Okay,
between a graveyard and a
grave,
cemetery?
graveyards are connected to churches. Cemeteries are in fields. But do you know
Okay.
why I can't be buried in a graveyard?
Why?
Because I'm not dead yet.
Oh God, it's terrible.
Come on,
All
that
right.
wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. All right.
And
All right,
Do Good did explain some stuff for us. Laudatory should be
what
the
did he
word. It was misspelled. Begins with an L, derived from the Latin laudare, laudatory, lauds. It's praise. So, yeah, it definitely was misspelled. It was spelled adultory. It was misspelled. It should be laudatory.
Oh, laudatory. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Do Good, for being better at English than us.
Yeah, it's not appropriate
Danke.
for you to pick on us in our American education.
I said Danke. That's
All right.
That's German for thank you, I think.
All right. Well, this train wreck comes to a close, but we'll be back tomorrow, whether you want it or not.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teats. Tune in now to your To That Show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on